This is the story of a boy who was thrown into a dark well by his own brothers, sold into slavery in a foreign land, imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. Yet, by the end of his journey, he sat upon the throne of Egypt. This is the story of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, a story of patience, betrayal, beauty, and divine destiny. One of the most detailed and emotional stories in the Qur'an, revealed to provide comfort to a heart in pain, the heart of Prophet Muhammad during one of the hardest years of his life. Our story begins in Canaan, ancient Palestine. A young boy named Yusuf comes to his father, Prophet Jacob, with excitement in his eyes. He says, "O my father, indeed I have seen in a dream 11 stars, and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating to me." Jacob recognizes this dream instantly. It is not ordinary. It is a sign that Yusuf is destined for greatness, chosen by Allah. But he warns his son, "Do not relate your vision to your brothers, lest they plot against you." For Jacob knew, jealousy is a dangerous fire. Yusuf's brothers, 11 in number, older, stronger, but filled with envy. They saw the love their father had for Yusuf and his younger brother Benjamin. They whispered among themselves, "Yusuf and his brother are more beloved to our father than we." Their jealousy turned into a plan so dark that the Qur'an itself calls it a great evil. They came to their father and said, "Send Yusuf with us tomorrow to play. We will surely protect him." Jacob feared for his son and hesitated, but after continuous persuasion, he agreed. They took Yusuf far away, and near an abandoned well, they carried out their cruel plan. They threw the young Yusuf into the darkness of the well, heartless, cold, and jealous. Then, they returned to their father, crying fake tears. They said, "Oh, our father, a wolf has eaten him," and showed a shirt stained with false blood. But Jacob saw the truth. With a heart shattered, he said, for he knew Allah was the best of protectors. Inside the well, Yusuf cried out to Allah. But the story did not end there. A caravan traveling to Egypt stopped to fetch water. The bucket descended, and when they pulled it up, they found Yusuf. The Qur'an captures their shock. "Oh, good news! Here is a boy." They hid Yusuf as merchandise, and in the bustling markets of Egypt, the young boy was sold into slavery. He was bought by a high-ranking official in the kingdom, known as Al-Aziz, the chief minister of Egypt. His wife, known in Islamic tradition as Zulekha, lived with them in the palace. Little did Yusuf know, this was the first step toward his divine destiny. Years passed. Yusuf grew into a man of remarkable beauty, dignity, and character. His beauty became famous. It was said that half of all beauty was given to him. Inside the palace, Zulekha became consumed by desire for him. She locked the doors and called him to sin. But Yusuf replied, "I seek refuge in Allah." He ran toward the door. She chased him. Their struggle caused his shirt to tear from the back. At the door, they found her husband. Zulekha tried to blame Yusuf, but a witness from her own family said, "If his shirt is torn from the front, she speaks the truth. But if it is torn from the back, then she lies." And so, the truth was revealed. Yet, to avoid scandal, they chose to imprison Yusuf instead. Yusuf entered prison, not as a criminal, but as an innocent man. Yet he did not lose hope. He preached the oneness of Allah to the prisoners. 2 cellmates came to him, asking about dreams. One saw himself pressing wine. The other saw birds eating bread from his head. Yusuf interpreted them. One would return to serve the king. The other would be executed. He asked the surviving one to mention him to the king, but the man forgot, and Yusuf remained in prison for several more years, patience upon patience, until one night, the king of Egypt awoke from a troubling dream. He had seen 7 fat cows, eaten by 7 lean cows. and 7 green ears of grain, and 7 dry ones. None could interpret it. Then the man who was once in prison remembered Yusuf. When Yusuf was brought, he interpreted the dream with wisdom. You will have 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of drought. He advised them to store grain during the good years. The king was amazed. He said, "Bring him to me." But Yusuf refused to leave prison until his innocence was publicly recognized. Only when the truth about Zuleika's plot was confessed did Yusuf emerge with honor and dignity. The king said, "Indeed, you are today established in our presence, trusted." Double quotes. He offered Yusuf a position of power. Yusuf replied, "Appoint me over the storehouses of the land. Indeed, I am a knowledgeable guardian." And so, from a child thrown into a well, to a slave, to a prisoner, Yusuf now became the Minister of Finance of Egypt, controlling resources, economy, and distribution. This was the moment Allah's promise began to unfold. Years later, famine struck the region, including Canaan. Yus. Ruther's brothers traveled to Egypt to buy food. They entered the court, not recognizing the powerful minister was their own brother. Yusuf recognized them, but stayed silent. On their second visit, Yusuf revealed himself. He asked, "Do you know what you did to Yusuf and his brother when you were ignorant?" Their hearts broke. They asked for forgiveness. Yusuf replied, "There is no blame upon you today. May Allah forgive you." Then he brought his elderly father, Yaqub, and the whole family to Egypt. And there, the dream finally came true. His parents and brothers fell in respect before him. And he said, "This is the fulfillment of my dream of long ago. From the well to the throne, every step was written by Allah." The story of Yusuf teaches us, when people abandon you, Allah takes you in. When doors close, Allah opens greater ones. When you are forgotten by creation, you are remembered by the Creator. His entire journey echoed one message: patience with trust brings victory. Visual suggestions: sunrise over desert.com. Music, Qur'an, ayah, overlay. If you enjoyed this documentary, like and share. May Allah make us among the patient. Subscribe for more Islamic documentaries.